The final in the series of videos on setting up the drawing from the assembly for the caster for the first project. What we haven't done yet is added any dimensions. I want some overall dimensions on the assembly itself. We haven't taken a look yet at the title block, so let's do that. First, let's move the view of this front view. You'll notice in order to do that side to side, I actually need to do it from the top since it was projected down. It gives me just a little bit more room. If I wanted to move up and down, I could do that by grabbing this view right here. I think that centers things pretty well, leaves a little space on the other side. Now, if you go anywhere in the sheet and you right click and go to Properties, it'll open up this little Sheet Properties window. And one of the things you may need to do here, depending on how you started, is change from first angle to third angle projection. SolidWorks by default uses first angle projection, which is used in most of the rest of the world, or in much of the rest of the world. We use third angle projection here for placing views. It says the next view label would be B because we have an A, the next data would be A. Next view label would be B because we've already created a view called AA. You will notice though that I'm using the B size SMCC inch standard sheet size. That's something I have on my machine. You don't have it on yours yet. What I really need is metric because this is a metric drawing. So I'm going to go over here and pick that and then pick OK. Current sheet format has notes that have been modified. Do you want these deleted? I'll say yes. It comes in now, and the difference is that instead of saying dimensions are in inches, it now says dimensions are in millimeters, and it gives all the other information in millimeters as well. Look at the title block. In the title block, the other thing I'll do is change the scale. The default scale on this sheet, right click anywhere in the sheet, go to Properties, is 1 to 2. So let me change that to 1 to 1. You see what happens when I do that is it changes the scale right here. Now what I want to do is to complete this title block, but before I do I want to make a few modifications. In fact, here are a couple things that are really out of whack here, and this will happen sometimes when you use an existing drawing. One thing I might want to do is to change any of the notes, any of the other tags, the lines, the location of the lines, or anything else about this title block. In order to do that, I can't do it directly. I need to be editing what's known as the sheet format. Sheet format is different from the sheet. The sheet is what we're looking at right here with the drawing in it. The sheet format is the underlying title block. If I right click anywhere on the sheet, and instead of picking Properties, I pick Edit Sheet Format, the views will disappear. I'm now looking at the title block and all the lines associated with it that I can now edit. And you can see that they're blue because they're not fully defined. That's okay. It's not very unlikely to ever have a fully defined title block. It just wouldn't be worth the trouble. What I'm going to do is to take that line right there, and I want to move it because I don't think it's going to give me enough room for the date. I'll take the name and I'll move that as well. Then I can take this line and I'll move that over here to open up a little more space for the date. Then I'll take that date and I'll try to more center it like so. This is B size. It's got a drawing number in it. The drawing number is really just the file name for the assembly that I've created. If I want to change that, I can, so that it's not tied directly to that file name. So I could call this CA-101, for instance, as a drawing number. By default, the text height is set to 6.3, which is a hard conversion from 1/4 inch. I'm going to change it to 6. It makes a little more sense to me to use actual metric sizes. So now we're not going to complete the title block here. We can do that somewhere else. What we're just doing is changing the underlying sheet format. Once we're happy with that, we can go up again, right click, edit sheet. Now if I want to place information in here, I'm going to do it by adding a note. Pick the note, bring it over here and put it in place. This is going to be drawn by, I just put my initials in here. The date, I'm just going to place that here and then type in the date. So what I'm doing is filling out the title block in the sheet, not in the sheet format. Then there are places you can do check by. We'll create our own title block later on, so we have a little more space for all of these things. The title itself should be 6 millimeters. I'll go back to the note pull down, or the note tab, go to place a note, and now instead of having a 3 millimeter text height, we'll change that to 6. And then I'll put caster assembly in here. Click on the outside. If I don't like the location, I'll just grab it and move it when I'm done. In order to finish this off, I'd like to put a few dimensions on here. So let me move this side to side. So I'll just drag this over a little bit. What I'm going to do is go to the Annotation Smart Dimension button, just like when you were doing sketches. I'm just going to select the top of my assembly here, bottom of my assembly here, and I'm going to drag that over. Now you see I've got these dimensions set so that they're automatically limit tolerancing. I'm going to move over to the left-hand panel under Tolerance and Precision. I'm going to change from limit to none. 2 decimal places unnecessary, so we'll go none in that case as well. And when I'm done with this, I'll just pick the green checkbox. The other dimension we want in a section assembly is the overall dimension in the other orientation. So I'll pick a couple of things here. I got to bring them down below or up above. I think I'll go down below. Well, I think I'll go up above. And then what I can do is modify my balloons if I want to, so they don't go right through the dimension lines. So let's put that here for now. Go to limit tolerancing, change it to none. Take my balloon. In this case, I'm just going to move it down a little bit. Take this balloon. Maybe I can go outside. Actually, this one here I'm going to go outside with as well. And then I'll just change my attachment point so it comes in here like that. Crossing an extension line is not too big a deal. Crossing a dimension line, that's another matter. So we'll bring the dimension down just a little bit more. It looks like that. And I'll do one other dimension on the right side view just to show the overall width. So smart dimension here to here. It's 82. I'll come over and change it from limit to none as well. At this point, if I look at the entire thing, I've got this view which is there simply to generate this view from. And again, the reason I need that view is because this is SolidWorks. It's an actual model. If you want to show a section, you need to show a cutting plane line. The cutting plane line has to be on a view. If I were to go up and delete that view, it's going to delete everything, including this view right here. So I come back, bring it back, the escape key. If you're happy with the way that looks, you can go ahead and save it now. You can see I've got my line weights, got the phantom lines, the sections look proper. And as far as I can tell on this last review, everything I need is there. This is not necessary to put those hidden lines in, but I'm going to do it anyway. So at this point, you can go ahead and plot it and save it. And that's the end of the drawing video.